UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Barber is a night that we all want to forget. And in doing so, we're going in to UFC 316. Let's get straight into my picks and predictions. Starting off in the lightweight division where we have MarQuel Mederos set to face off against Choinski. May have butchered the names, I apologize for that, but the odds are heavily in favor of MarQuel, and I don't understand why. First of all, he pulled out of last week because of illness. He couldn't fight last week. And now he's matched up against an undefeated prospect that we've never seen at the UFC level. So unpredictable. And Mark, he fights out of a really good gym. He can surprise you. He has good wrestling and good striking. I think he gets the job done by a huge upset, but it's a UFC debut, so I highly recommend you stay away from it in terms of betting. Next up, we're staying in the lightweight division where we have Quillan Salkilld set to face off against Yanal Ashmouz. I like the side of Quillan on this one. No bet because the value is not there. I really liked his performance in his last fight. That KO was spectacular. He has a lot of power in those hands. I think that power makes Yanal a lot more tentative. Yanal has power as well, but I think the Aussie gets this one done. Next up, we're going to the featherweights where we have Ju Sung-Yu set to face off against Jeka Saragih. Now, Jeka, he's been getting upset finishes, but I believe that Ju Sung-Yu is going to put him out and have a showcase performance at the featherweight division. Next up, we're going to the women's bantamweights. I guess we can call them bantamweights. 132 pounds as per Tapology. We have Ariane Lipski set to face off against Cong, Wang. And listen, Ariane is a good striker. She does have a lot of power in her hands herself. She is rangy as well. But Cong Wang is a much higher level striker, and I think she gets the job done. It'll be hard for her to get a finish. I think she wins by decision, but I think Cong Wang gets it done. Next up, we're going to the welterweights where we have Khaos Williams set to face off against Andreas Gustafsson. Andreas was supposed to fight last week, and unfortunately he couldn't. Now he's fighting a much higher level opponent in Khaos Williams. The odds makers favor Khaos. I kind of do as well. I think he has way too much power. Andreas gets hit way too often, and Khaos manages to, if not put him out, win on the judges' scorecards. On to the heavyweight division where we have Serghei Spivac set to face off against Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Now then, I think Serghei manages to get the fight down to the ground and finish Waldo there. Yes, Waldo has much better striking, so if the fight stays standing there, Waldo does get the better of him. But I just see Serghei closing the distance, getting that clinch, getting a trip, getting some form of takedown. He's very efficient when it comes to getting takedowns, controlling Waldo on the ground, pounding him, and getting the submission when it presents itself. I see Serghei winning by finish. Again, no bet on this one. The bets come later on here, guys. Next up, we're going to the light heavyweight division where we have undefeated Azamat Murzakanov set to face off against Brendson Ribeiro. Now, Brendson is coming off a very nice upset victory where he won by Kimura. But don't expect Azamat to be pushed around that easily in this one. Azamat has got that power, and Brendson does get hit fairly often. I think Azamat puts him out. I think he puts him out in the first round. On to the next one. We have Bruno Silva set to face off against Joshua Van. I think Joshua Van wins by decision. Placing a bet on Joshua Van to win by decision. Bruno, he's tough. Really tough. Even though he's coming off a KO loss to Manel Kopp where he got dominated in terms of the striking, he showed that he is tough. And Joshua Van, he does have power, but he's not really a finisher. I think he picks Bruno apart over the course of the fight and wins by unanimous decision. On to the welterweights where we have a very hard fight to predict. I gotta bet on it because I like the odds of it. Vicente Luque to beat Kevin Holland. Let me explain. Kevin Holland is a guy that shows up. Sometimes he wants to fight, sometimes he wants money. I think this fight, he's taking money. Against power punchers, he doesn't really do too well in my opinion, as of late at least. And when guys grapple, they succeed against a guy like Kevin Holland. I think The only chance Kevin Holland has is by landing some long-range power shots against Vicente Luque and making Vicente very tentative, but I don't see that happening. I think Vicente closes the distance, lands some shot of his own, get into a clinch, push Kevin Holland to the cage, could even get a takedown here and there. And when Kevin Holland is trying to sprawl and get his way back up to the feet, he can get caught in a dorse. Or he can lose on the judges' scorecards based on control. So I think Vicente gets it done, placing a bet on that. Next up, we're going to the bantamweight division where we have Mario Bautista set to face off against Patchy Mix. Now, I really like the side of the favorite in this one, and I also like him to win inside the distance. Patchy Mix is a really talented fighter, and the UFC seems to be punishing Bautista for what he did against Jose Aldo. I mean, he just won the fight. He's holding Jose Aldo against the cage, but fans don't like to see it. And having a game plan like that against a guy like Patchy Mix, good luck. Patchy Mix is a submission specialist. I think Patchy Mix wins inside the distance, placing a bet on that. Next up, we're going to the middleweights where we have Kelvin Gastelum set to face off against Joe Bodybags Pyfer. I like the side of Joe Pyfer to win inside the distance. Hear me out on this one. Kelvin Gastelum recently fought Sean Brady. Sean Brady made easy work of Kelvin Gastelum. So meaning, Joe Pyfer trained with a guy who made easy work of Kelvin Gastelum. I think the same thing happens in this one. Joe Pyfer has got a power advantage over Kelvin for sure. He hits with a lot more power than Sean Brady. He can also get the fight down to the ground. He can get a submission, but I think he's going for knockout. I'm placing a bet on Joe Pyfer to win inside the distance. He should make very easy work. On to the co-main event. Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison at the bantamweight division. The champion is the underdog, and with good reason. There's no real play for me in terms of this fight. I think Kayla Harrison dog walks Juliana Pena. Juliana is going to show some great durability, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. The ground control time is going to be way too much. On the feet, they both suck. So it should be interesting if Juliana can manage to survive long enough for Kayla to be too tired to get takedowns. But the two-time Olympian, she's definitely going to get the better of her, in my opinion. Now on to the main event of the evening. Merab Dvalishvili set the face off against Sean O'Malley for the bantamweight title. I like the side of the champion. It's not going to be much different from the last fight, in my opinion. How much can Sean O'Malley's grappling improve in a matter of months? Definitely not to the level of Merab, in my opinion. Merab, he can get outstruck, for sure. But Sean O'Malley, he tends to show a lot of things, but not a lot of volume. I think Merab avoids the big shots. He even got a chin on him, so he can collect some shots as well while going in. Pressure Sean to the fence, control him, win on the judges' scorecards. The bet I'm going to be placing for this one is going to be Merab Dvalishvili to win and land more significant strikes. He did this easily in the last fight. Again, not much changes are going to happen in this fight, unfortunately, for Sean O'Malley. If it goes to the judges' scorecards and it's a close fight, he may get a robbery decision. Sean O'Malley I'm speaking about, he may get a robbery win, but I'm not placing this bet based on opinions of what can be a robbery, what cannot. Merab, in my opinion, has been an active champion. He's a good champion. I think he gets the job done. Now on to the ladder challenge, and boy, what can I say about this ladder challenge? It's not been too great for me, but it can only go up from here, right? I got two fighters on the slate. Joe Pyfer to win, parlayed with him to land more significant strikes. Again, I see him dominating Kelvin Gastelum, doing exactly what he wants to him, and Merab Dvalishvili to land more significant strikes. These three bets turn your $10 into 28 plus. Be sure to let me know what you think about the picks and the plays down below. Subscribe, follow me on TikTok, Twitter, support the channel on the Patreon, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, game time.